to just very quickly highlight some of the key points that has already been made by your school principal and also the chair of the committee, the representative of the Fijian Muslim College, regarding education in itself. As was highlighted, the Honourable Prime Minister last month, in fact this month, in November the 8th, announced the fact that from next year, education in Fiji from classes 1 all the way up to Form 7 will become absolutely free. What that means is that as parents, as students, you do not have to worry at all about the fact that you have to pay school fees. You no longer have to pay building fund or building fees or any other type of fees. All of this has been now taken care of. What this means, let me put it into perspective. This year, for example, in primary school, the government would give to the schools $30 a child. But the true cost of educating a primary school student is about $250. And that's precisely what the government will be giving from next year. So a school, let's say with 1,000 students in primary school, would have got $30 a child, would have got $30,000. From next year, that same school will get $250,000. Now, that's a lot of money. And that money obviously needs to be used to spend on the schools, on the upkeep of the schools, on ensuring that all schools, for example, have computer labs, they are well maintained, and that the students do not have anything to worry about. Because the Bainimarama government believes that this is an investment. Investing in the education of our children is an investment in the future of our country. In the same way, these students, the Form 7 students, will be leaving high school this year. Next year, if they get a place in a university, they do not have to pay the tertiary fees. They simply will be entitled to a soft loan. And you only pay that loan once you graduate and get a job. If you don't get a job, you don't have to pay those monies back until you get a job. So all the way from class 1 and all the way up to the university, you all have an opportunity to be educated. It relieves that burden that's on the parents. It sets the future for those young people who will be educated. Because once you're educated, once you have the qualifications, your ability to be employed improves. Your ability to also, in the meantime, expand your mind, think outside the box, and eventually contribute towards your country will be greatly treasured, not by you only as an individual, but of course by society as a whole. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, is because of this Constitution. You all have it at the back of the room. Please feel free to take as many copies as you like. Under the Constitution, it's a requirement that not just this government, but all subsequent governments have to make education available. In the same way that all governments now have to ensure that you have better access to transportation, you have better access to roads, you have better access to employment. These are what we call the socio-economic rights. And this is critical to making Fiji a modern state. Let me put it into perspective. You know, many people talk about how wonderful Singapore is. Everything there is so modern. Do you know the size of Singapore? Singapore is the size of Talyuni. That's how big Singapore is. Yet it's been able to achieve and become a modern nation state because the leaders of that country had a vision. Because all the people in that country became educated. And because everybody were patriotic towards their country. Everybody was loyal to their country. In the same way, Fiji can do better than Singapore. We are much bigger than Singapore. A lot more land. We can grow our own food. In Singapore, they have to import everything. In fact, the Singapore military, when their soldiers need to go training, they have to go and hire a jungle in Malaysia or Indonesia. They don't even have their own jungle. That's how small it is. So Fiji has enormous advantages that we can all take advantage of. And we must take advantage of it, because Fiji can become a jewel in the South Pacific. And this is exactly what the Bainimarama government has been doing. And this is exactly why I'm investing in the children, why I'm investing in our youth, because they are the future leaders of tomorrow. And they are the ones who can make Fiji even greater than what it is today. So ladies and gentlemen, it has been highlighted by the principal, that is also the responsibility of the parents. Now you do not have to worry about forking out the fees. You simply have to get your children to school, maybe make their lunch, or give some lunch money. But we all have to ensure that the students are actually focused on their studies. Not everybody can become or wants to become a lawyer or an engineer or a doctor. There are some people who are very good with their hands. Some people are very good with automotive engineering. Some people are very good with carpentry, technical drawing, whatever the case may be. No profession, no job is any less than any other job. Please remember that. Just because you did not come first, second or third today, just because you did not get a prize today, it does not mean you are no good. What it simply means is that you just keep on doing your best. That's the most important thing. Honesty means not just not telling a lie to somebody. Honesty means being reflective about yourself, about being honest with yourself. Parents should not push a child to do accounting just because the neighbor's daughter is doing accounting. Don't do that. Your children may not like accounting. Your daughter may not like accounting. They might like to do engineering. Or your son may be a very, very good joiner. Let him do that. Because if you pursue something, if you pursue a profession that makes you happy inwards, you'll always do best at it. I was terrible in maths. I never wanted to become a mathematician. So we all have to recognize our skill sets. So in the same way, I ask all of you, not just as students, but as parents, as family, as friends, as teachers, as community members, as religious leaders, to all work together to ensure that we all succeed individually and also as a community. And indeed, if we succeed as a community, we will be successful as a nation. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish everybody all the best. For those of you who are staying on next year, please continue with your studies, work hard, interact with your teachers. And those who are leaving high school, wish you all the best in your tertiary studies or whichever vocation you'll be pursuing. Thank you.